Hi, this is my Fortune 500 company presentation. I did choose to do the presentation on McKesson, with the Chief Executive Officer being Brian Tyler. A little bit about McKesson's company profile. The type of business that they are is they're a well-known healthcare company. They distribute pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and health record technology. That it could be electronic health records, just anything that can help the provider. Since they are a healthcare company, they typically do partner up with physicians, pharmaceuticals, and manufacturers. A little about McKesson's market profile. Again, their industry, they are wholesale healthcare. Their market capitalization is $47.34 billion. I did set up a little bit about their 2022 revenue and profits. So the 2022 revenue was $257 billion. Their assets were 63.7 billion and profits were 1.4 billion. They do have a headquarters. It is located in Irving, Texas, and that was founded in 1833. They serve customers across 14 countries and have a total employees of about 76,000. McKesson is an international company who also services Canada and Europe. They contribute to the healthcare system in many ways, more than just one, being that they provide pharmaceutical distribution with medications. They have different like medical supply companies, just distributing out to all these healthcare systems. In specific, some items that are available to purchase from McKesson include medical equipment, lab supplies, vaccinations, apparel such as scrubs, office supplies such as masks, gloves, pencils, notepads, and implants and appliances. A little bit about their code of ethics. It does revolve completely around patient care and bringing the best possible support to the healthcare system that they can. The company's overall purpose is to advance health outcomes for all. A little about their mission and vision. So, to begin with their mission, at McKesson, there is a common mission to provide solutions and improve health. Their mission statement in specific is to provide comprehensive pharmacy solutions that improve productivity, profitability, and result in superior patient care and satisfaction. McKesson's vision is to improve care in every setting. This is directly from the Code of Conducts on the McKesson website. It does say their vision is to provide care in every setting, one product, one partner, one patient at a time. Some of their core values, it does revolve around excellence, customer first policy, integrity, and accountability. They do highly believe that the patient comes first, the customer comes first. They just want to provide for the physicians, the hospitals, but their customers do come first. They do have a model. It's called the I Care in Action. It is a little about McKesson's values. It basically shapes it up for all the employees. But the I Care model does state we act with integrity, we speak up without fear of retaliation, we are accountable, we show respect, we are inclusive, we are proactive, we engage in sustainable business practices, we detect and respond to compliance issues. Not only do they expect this to be complied to by their employees, but they expect this from everyone that they work with, whether it's their shareholders, business partners, it is expected from everyone. Their code of ethics. So the main code is to do business honestly and ethically. As previously mentioned in the I Care model, it does state that they want everyone to follow their rules essentially, and part of their rules is to act ethically. They do encourage speaking up if someone is a witness to any unethical or illegal behavior. They do put it in there that they want you to speak up without fear of retaliation. So they did set up an integrity line, which is anonymous, and it's basically a way to communicate any behavior that someone witnesses that they may think is unethical or illegal. McKesson's organizational culture. So there are a few different types of cultures. There is competitive, adaptive, bureaucratic, and cooperative. To begin, competitive culture. At McKesson, they value open and fair competition and only gather information through legal and ethical means. Meaning, if they have a new hire that they hired from a competitor's company, they will ask him about his skills, but they will not pry information out of him. They hired him for his skills and not for the information that he holds. Adaptive culture. Being that McKesson is a healthcare company, they do have to be able to adapt quickly. In healthcare, the conditions are constantly changing in a blink of an eye. A good example of that was the COVID-19 pandemic. They immediately put into place to get an entire distribution center built dedicated to packing and distributing COVID-19 vaccinations. And they did this all in a little of 53 days. Bureaucratic culture. So bureaucracy revolves around structure and rules. There are a certain set of rules set in place by McKesson that must be followed by everyone within the company. They do have leaders such as CEO Brian Tyler to put these rules in place, but the rules do keep the organization within the company, and having that leadership there to enforce it definitely does help. There is different departments for each level of organization, meaning that pharmaceuticals get their own compartments and medical supplies get their own separate compartments. Cooperative culture. The code of conduct specifies how everyone in the company has shared values and principles. With this being said, if the values are shared and that's something that's required by the company, it would make it pretty hard if everyone wasn't cooperating. McKesson's employees, they do face daily tasks where they have to make ethical decisions, and they do have to make those decisions for themselves, but they are aware of the values and principles of the company. It is important to McKesson. They do try to make the environment where everyone feels safe and able to be themselves, which does make it easier to cooperate with each other. McKesson's diversity and inclusivity policy. Diversity and inclusivity. One of McKesson's goals is to reflect the diverse community they serve. One of the McKesson On the McKesson website, CEO Brian Tyler states their commitment, which is as follows. At McKesson, we're committed to making diversity, equity, and inclusion integral to everything we do because we believe building a healthier future is everyone's business. Anticipating the evolving needs of our customers and their patients demand diverse ideas, perspectives, and expertise. So a little bit more on this topic. They do proudly promote being an equal opportunity employer, meaning that they do not discriminate. They will not judge you from your gender, your race, whatever it is. They don't have any kind of discrimination. It is posted on the McKesson website. There is a McKesson Equal Employment Opportunity Policy and Affirmative Action Policy Statement. In this statement, it's for everyone to see. It's basically stating how they do not judge, they will not commit unlawful discrimination, they won't tolerate harassment, or any type of retaliation. A little bit about Brian Tyler, the CEO of McKesson. His personal background, I did find that he prefers to keep his personal life under lock. But he is based in Las Colinas, Texas. He's married with 2 kids. A little bit about his education. He did graduate from University of Santa Cruz and he received his BA. Then he continued on to University of Chicago and he received his PhD and master's degree. And these were both in economics. A little bit more about Brian Tyler. He was appointed Chief Executive Officer of McKesson in April 2019. He has an estimated net worth of about $26.18 million as of February 2023. And he does own stock of about the same amount, $26 million. He did receive a compensation package from McKesson of about $18 million in 2022. A little bit about the growth that he's had through McKesson. He did spend about 3 years at Integral Inc. before he became a part of McKesson. And at Integral Inc., he did spend most of his time in healthcare consulting. So in 1977, he joined McKesson Distribution Solutions as Vice President of Strategy and Business Development. He then took part in McKesson's Specialty Care Solutions as president and McKesson's Medical Surgical section. On the pharmaceutical side, he oversaw distribution of pharmaceuticals, these pharmaceuticals that went out to hospitals, physicians' offices. He then did serve as chairman of the management board of McKesson Europe, and this is where he led about $27.3 billion of growth. Some history with McKesson. He does have a lot of history with McKesson. He's had over 2 decades of experience within the company. He's been in almost every single department of the company. Some of those where he was a big part of leadership was McKesson Distribution Solutions, Specialty Care Solutions, Medical Surgical, U.S. Pharmaceuticals, the North American Pharmaceuticals Distribution, and McKesson Europe. A little bit more about his leadership style. He did have a message on the McKesson website in the Code of Conduct. It did say, as an impact-driven company that touches virtually every aspect of healthcare, we must always remember that customers, patients, partners, shareholders, and colleagues count on us to do the right thing. From this statement, you can definitely tell that he does take it serious. He takes his company serious, he takes his job serious, and he definitely takes it serious when it comes to being ethical. He takes a lot of pride in having respect and integrity, which is his main goals for the company as a whole. And he actively encourages for his employees and everyone within the company to speak up without fear of retaliation. Oops, sorry. So a little bit more about the big 5 traits of leadership. I personally believe that he does show all 5. This starts with openness, conscientiousness, urgency, adjustment, and agreeableness. So he shows urgency to begin with. He is very determined, and urgency, I believe, it revolves around determination. But he's very determined to make McKesson the leading pathway for all healthcare needs. Whether it's through pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, or technology, he does want that to be the pathway for all healthcare needs. He demonstrates the trait of agreeableness. He holds very high respect for his employees, as they do for him. But not only is it for his employees, he holds high respect for everyone that he works with, everyone that is involved with McKesson. He listens to their concerns and always acts accordingly, which I think is something that has to tie in with the trait of having agreeableness. He does show openness as well. He shows this through the way that he handles mergers. He keeps an open mind. He's very intelligent with the choices that he makes, and this is very important when making decisions such as being in a merger. He also does show conscientiousness by proving he takes accountability within the company. He does want to do what is ethically correct all the time. And he's constantly pushing that onto everyone that he works with. There is a very clear line of organization shown by the rules that were set in place with the I-Care model. Again, the trait of adjustment, it's revolving around his company, his confidence within the company. He's constantly pursuing new endeavors that will not only benefit himself, but he wants to pursue them to see the company as a whole succeed. So we're heading towards the end of the presentation. A little bit of critical thinking and reflections that I had. Overall, a company as big as McKesson can easily crumble if you don't have the right leadership to guide you. I personally think that Brian Tyler does have the correct style of leadership and idea to get his company so successful, which is why it has been such a success. He does have 2 decades of experience with McKesson, which definitely helps him in his leadership. Just having the right experience and having the right knowledge, he is able to keep the company going and keep it successful. Like it says, knowledge is power, and that is a very, very important trait to have as a leader. A little bit more, as soon as Brian Tyler was awarded the position of CEO, he made a statement claiming he was incredibly humbled and grateful for the opportunity to lead this company. Showing that gratitude and humbleness, it does show what kind of a leader he is. It shows that he's not trying to be too overpowering, or running a company where he only takes himself into consideration. He really does have the best intention to improve healthcare for all. And I believe that's the end of my presentation, just some of my references. Thank you very much.